iOS 26 has finally been released, and it brings the new and controversial liquid glass design to our iPhones. So after updating, you'll notice the new look almost immediately. So the first thing you'll probably notice is there's a much larger clock, and there's a depth effect so that the clock actually ends up behind some of the elements of your photo. And then lastly, now you can also place widgets at the bottom of your screen instead of being forced to leave them at the top. And so you can hit customize to customize any of your existing lock screens, or hit the plus button to create a brand new one. But I've set one up, so we're gonna go into this one and hit customize. And at the top is the clock. Now you can click in and change the font of the clock. But what's important to note is that if you want to make the clock bigger, it's only available on the first one. So we're on the first font, and now we'll see this little handle here at the bottom that we can pull down to extend the clock. But if you go into a different font, you won't have that same handle. Now, when the clock is small, the widgets can be placed at the top or down at the bottom. But if you expand the clock, they'll automatically go down to the bottom. And then if you see a button like this on the left and click that, that's where you can turn the depth effect on or off. But on some photos like these ones, the depth effect is under the 3-dot menu. So when I click on that, I'll see the depth effect at the top to bring the clock to the front or to the back. The other new feature are these like spatial 3D scenes. So if we go over to this one and we hit customize, widgets at the bottom, but you'll also see this button to the left of the menu. If you click on this button, it's going to say generating spatial scene. Basically turns this into 3D. So when I move the screen around, you can kind of see how the photo comes alive in a sense. You can go into settings, and we're going to search for phone again. We can turn on 2 of the new phone features: screen unknown calls and hold assist. So the screen unknown callers is here at the bottom, and you do have a few options. I recommend putting it on ask reason for calling. That way, if an unknown number calls you, your phone will not ring, but an automated voice will ask them their name and their reason for calling. Once they answer those questions, your phone will ring and you'll see on your screen their answers to the questions so that you know who's calling and why, and then you can decide whether or not you want to pick up and answer the call. And then a little bit above that, you'll find the second new feature, which is hold assist detection. And I've been loving this one. It saves so many headaches. So when you toggle this on, your phone, when it detects that you've been put on hold or it hears hold music, it'll stay connected and save your place in line, but you can essentially hang up and move on with your life and do what you need to do. And when it's your turn, your phone will ring again to let you know you're off of hold and you need to speak to the agent. If your phone supports Apple Intelligence, you can now use visual intelligence with your screenshots. So when I take a screenshot, I'll see 3 different buttons here at the bottom. And the first one is ask. So you can ask ChatGPT anything about the image. On the right, you can do a reverse image search of the entire image. But if I only wanted to search for a specific part of this image, like for example, if I wanted to know what these shoes were specifically, I could just circle the shoes, and then you'll see at the bottom now it says results from Google. So I can just swipe up to see what kind of shoe it is. What's also really cool is if you take a screenshot of something that has a date. So this is the Coachella lineup for 2026, and there's the dates on the side here. So when I take a screenshot, at the bottom, visual intelligence will recognize that there is a date in the image. So I have the button to immediately add it to my calendar, but you'll also see a summarize button. So whenever you take a screenshot of something with a lot of text, it can also summarize what's there. And if I hit add to calendar, it'll bring up this little prompt. I can create the event, I can edit it first. It's so convenient, it's awesome. I've been using this so much. The reminders app didn't get many updates, but still got a couple that are worth mentioning. So first, if you ever use the groceries list option that automatically categorizes the different items you add to the list, you're gonna love this first new feature. Now you can go into any of your lists. So let's say I go into my packing list. I have a whole bunch of different items here. I can click the 3 dots in the top right, and now I'll see an option to auto categorize. Now this is going to use Apple Intelligence, so you do need a device with Apple Intelligence, but when I click on this, it'll take a second to think, or a few seconds to think, and then it'll categorize everything: clothing, electronics, miscellaneous toiletries. Just makes it a lot easier and a lot more organized, which I absolutely love. And this next one is long overdue, but now in the control center, you can add a button to quickly add a reminder. So if I click on this, I can easily add a reminder before I forget. I can change which list it's on. I can add a date and time, location, flag it, all from this screen so that I never forget. I can just do it so quickly. So you would add this button the same way as you'd add any. Just hit add control and then search for reminders, and new reminder will show up. The music app also got some really cool and much needed features. The first one being auto mix. So if you head on into settings and we're going to search for music, you can now go down to song transitions. And if you have an Apple Music subscription, you'll see the auto mix feature. Otherwise, you might just see crossfade. So unlike crossfade, that'll just fade one song out and the new one in, auto mix, kind of like a DJ, will actually mix them at the right tempo, at the right beat drop. And it actually sounds really, really good. It's like a little party in your ears. If you don't want any transition whatsoever, you can always just toggle it off. The other really cool thing though is now you have lyric translations and pronunciation. When you're playing a song in a different language, if you play the lyrics button on the bottom left, if I press on translation, I can do show pronunciation, but I can also turn on show translation. So then you have the Korean lyrics, the pronunciation, as well as the translation below that. And now when you go over to library, you can pin up to 6 playlists and albums to the top here. I'll show you how to do that in a second, but when you go over to playlists, you'll now also be able to organize your playlists into folders. So for that, you would just hit the plus button at the top and create a new folder here. And then once you do have a playlist that you want to pin, you would just long press on it and you'll see an option to pin the playlist. There are also some new battery settings to mention. So if you go into settings, down to battery, under daily usage, you'll see a lot more detail and information into which apps are draining your battery or using a lot of your battery. And if your phone supports Apple Intelligence, at the bottom under power mode, you should see a new power mode called adaptive power. So what this will do is if your phone for whatever reason is using more battery than normal, it'll make adjustments to conserve battery. So it might lower the screen brightness automatically, or if something's downloaded, it'll take longer to download, all to conserve as much battery as possible. And then I also recommend toggling on adaptive power notifications. That way, if ever this is happening, you are notified why something is maybe taking a little bit longer than you're expecting. But by far, my favorite new battery feature is now we get charging time estimates. So now when you plug in your phone to charge, and it doesn't even have to be into a wall charger, I'm just using a power bank right here. You'll now see at the top, it's going to take about 18 minutes for my phone to charge to 80% or 56 minutes to charge to 95%. And same thing on your lock screen. At the top now, you'll see 61% charged, 18 minutes to 80%. Another incredibly long-awaited feature, when you go into the clock app and to set an alarm, you can do this to any of your sleep schedules by hitting change, or any of your brand new alarms. But at the bottom, you can now change the duration of the snooze. So I can click in here, and if 9 minutes just wasn't enough, you can go all the way up to 15 minutes. So not too long, don't live too much, but you can at least get it away from 9 and maybe even go for 10, that one extra golden minute. If you like today's video, then make sure you're subscribed, because I have videos coming up with all of the updates to iPadOS and macOS that you're not going to want to miss. And that's it, so have a great day. Bye.